While Microsoft is still busy delaying Windows 12 and focusing on Windows 11 updates, I somehow ended up with something even more ahead of its time: Windows 17. It's much lighter than Windows 10 and seems especially optimized for low-end hardware. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the full installation process, highlight what makes it interesting, and see if it actually runs games better than the Windows you're using right now. And of course, is this even an official release? But before answering all of that, let's experience it first. After spending some time browsing the internet, I came across a rather strange name: Windows 17. Curious, I dug a bit deeper and eventually managed to download its installation file. Of course, something like this always comes with unknown risks, but that's fine. This is just a small experiment, nothing too serious. The first thing that surprised me was the file size. The ISO is only about 1.7 gigabytes, which is significantly smaller than the roughly 5.7 gigabytes of Windows 10. Clearly, something has been heavily modified or stripped down to make it this compact, although I still don't know exactly what has been changed. But the bigger difference lies in the installation process. Unlike a typical Windows ISO, this one doesn't include a setup.exe file, which means you can't just run it directly inside Windows. Instead, you have to create a bootable USB to access the installer. So I used Rufus to create a bootable drive for Windows 17, and at this point, everything is ready to begin the experiment. First, to keep this test as fair as possible, and to really highlight how lightweight Windows 17 is, I'm going with a pretty modest setup: a Dell Optiplex 70020 with an i5-4590, 8 gigabytes of RAM, and a GT 1030. For storage, I'll be using two Samsung 870 EVO SATA SSDs. Alright, let's power it on, jump into the boot menu, and select the USB drive. There's a display error here. Not ideal. But it still managed to get into the installer, so we'll keep going. Looks like there might be a minor driver issue. The installation interface itself feels very familiar, pretty much like a standard Windows setup. Nothing complicated here, and the process moves surprisingly fast. Probably thanks to the much smaller install size. Wow. And this is Windows 17. That wallpaper actually looks pretty nice. Overall, the menus in Windows feel very similar to Windows 10, but the icons lean more toward Windows 11. And then the Start menu somehow feels like Windows 7. It's like everything is mixed together in a really strange way, but honestly, it's kind of interesting. It feels like a fully loaded hamburger. Everything is in here. Alright, Windows 17 is installed. Now, to get a clearer picture of its performance and stability, I'm going to compare it directly with Windows 10 Pro. I'm using two separate drives. One SSD with Windows 17 installed and the other with Windows 10. Both are completely clean, just the operating systems. No extra apps installed. Wait, hold on, what is this? The storage size after installing Windows 17 is actually surprising. The entire operating system only takes up just 7.26 gigabytes of disk space, which is extremely small for a modern version of Windows. Meanwhile, after installation, Windows 10 takes up around 28.1 gigabytes, which is nearly 4 times larger. That's a huge difference, but size doesn't always tell the whole story. So now, let's check the boot time of Windows 17. From the moment I press the power button, it takes a little over 17 seconds to reach the desktop. Switching over to Windows 10 Pro, the result is pretty much the same. Also just over 17 seconds. There's no significant difference here. Both feel equally fast when it comes to booting. Next up is RAM usage. This is where things get interesting. On Windows 17, at idle, the system only uses around 0.7 gigabytes of RAM. That's actually impressive. It almost feels like the level of efficiency you'd expect from something like Windows 7. Very lightweight, very minimal resource usage. Honestly, that's pretty fascinating. Now switching to Windows 10, and yeah, no surprises here. Idle RAM usage sits at around 2.2 gigabytes, which is roughly 3 times higher than Windows 17. But that's not all. The thing that really impressed me is the huge difference in the number of processes and services running between the two systems. On Windows 17, we're looking at just 4 background processes and 32 Windows processes, with a very minimal list of active services. Meanwhile, on Windows 10, it's a completely different story. We have 31 background processes and up to 89 Windows processes, along with a long list of services running in the background. So essentially, Windows 17 is running only about 1/3 the number of background tasks compared to Windows 10. And now it makes perfect sense why its RAM usage is so low. Next, shutdown speed. And this one is a bit confusing. Windows 10 actually shuts down faster, taking just a little over 1 second, while Windows 17 takes closer to 3 seconds. But honestly, that alone doesn't really say much. So now the real question is, with such a lightweight system, can Windows 17 actually deliver better performance and stability than Windows 10? First, I wanted to check what actually makes Windows 17 so lightweight. And yeah, it's pretty obvious. Most of the default Windows components have been stripped out. The app list is almost empty. Services like Defender, OneDrive, Cortana, Copilot, Microsoft Store, and Windows Update are gone. There's no Edge, and even the GPU driver isn't installed automatically. Meanwhile, on Windows 10 Pro, everything is still there as usual, including system services, the browser, and automatic driver support. So clearly Windows 17 isn't a new OS, it's just a heavily modified Windows 1022H2, made lighter by removing a lot of built-in features. To test if that actually makes a difference, I set up both systems on separate drives with the same apps and games. Of course, on Windows 17, I had to install drivers manually since it doesn't include the full set of built-in features, like a standard Windows installation, which is part of the trade-off. Now it's time to test real-world performance. Starting with something very basic, Google Chrome. On both operating systems, Chrome runs perfectly fine, but Windows 17 feels a bit more responsive, almost instant when launching the app. When I opened 10 YouTube tabs, Windows 17 used about 4.4 gigabytes of RAM, while Windows 10 used around 5.2 gigabytes. Overall, both are smooth, but Windows 10 does feel slightly heavier in direct comparison. The difference isn't huge, but it's enough to show that removing system components does have some impact on performance. That said, Chrome is still a light task. So the real question is, what happens when we move into gaming? Let's continue with a few actual games, starting with Minecraft. At first, everything looks pretty solid. At 1080p with 8 chunks, both systems run smoothly, with Windows 17 pushing over 130 FPS, while using around 4.6 gigabytes of RAM, compared to about 5.5 gigabytes on Windows 10. But once I crank it up to 32 chunks, that's where things change. Windows 17 is still playable, hovering around 30 frames per second with some drops, while Windows 10 falls below 10 frames per second at times, making the experience much rougher. This shows that Windows 17 is managing system resources more efficiently by cutting down background components. Next up is Tomb Raider at 1080p normal. Both systems run well at around 70 to 80 FPS, but Windows 17 again uses less RAM, about 3 gigabytes compared to 3.5 gigabytes on Windows 10. And finally, Cyberpunk 2077, the limit test. At 1080p low, both systems struggle with very low FPS, and there's basically no meaningful difference. It proves one thing. No matter how lightweight the OS is, if the hardware can't keep up, there's nothing left to optimize. So after all these tests, the conclusion is clear. Windows 17's biggest strength is how lightweight it is. Fewer background processes, lower RAM usage, and faster response in basic tasks. But nothing comes for free. It may be faster, but you lose a lot. No Defender, no store, no updates, manual drivers, and questionable stability. This isn't for everyone. It works best for specific use cases like secondary machines or lightweight setups. But for a stable, secure, full-featured experience, Windows 10 Pro is still the safer choice. In short, Windows 17 isn't magic, it's just lighter because a lot has been removed. If you understand that trade-off, it can be interesting. If not, sticking with official Windows is still the better move. What about you? What version of Windows are you using and are you happy with it? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.